Hi friends, Heather here from Yoga Mamas. Today's practice is for anyone who may be feeling anxious in the midst of anxiety, or anybody who just wants to calm down the mind and the body. It's a little bit shorter of a practice so that you can get right into it and start feeling the effects without the pressure of or the feeling that you need to be in a super long practice. So I hope you find this beneficial, and I hope that it helps to calm the mind and the body for you. So you can bring in a couple of pillows, a blanket, if that feels best to you, especially if you have knee things for our first pose. But let's get right to it. So let's come into our seated pose. Take the hands to get facing up on the legs or the knees, and just, if it's comfortable for you, close the eyes. Take some breaths where you exhale through the mouth and start to feel into the body. Where are you right now? What sensations are going through the mind and the body? Maybe bringing a smile to your face in this moment, and let your mind and your body know that right now, right here, you are safe. You are loved. Okay, let's take the hands together in front of the heart, rub the hands together, and also make sure that you take the fingers and rub in between the fingers here, activating energy lines through the body. And then just take the hands to the face, do some massaging of the face, just wherever you may be feeling any tension, and then the ears as well, the face and the ears. Just give them a little bit of love here. And shake the hands out. Good. Our first pose that we're going to do is called Melting Heart. It's also known as puppy pose, and you can also do child's pose as well. A very calming forward bend. So, like I said, you can bring a blanket underneath the knees if that is most comfortable for your knees, or a blanket behind the knees as well. You can also, I brought my bolster in here, you can also take a bolster out in front and snuggle into the bolster if that feels best, keeping the seat lifted. There's so many different ways you can do this. You can use no props at all. You can bring hands underneath the head and come into child's pose or arms back. What I want you to do is close your eyes and find the forward fold, the forward bend that feels best to you. Maybe you're curling your toes underneath. Maybe you're right on top of the feet. Kind of move the seat side to side a little bit and just see where it works for you, okay? So come into your pose. And we're going to start to go to the breath. So lengthening the breath is a really great practice for calming the mind and the body. Okay, so really take time to feel the inhale and feel the exhale. Feel what happens to the body as you breathe, filling up the back of the body with full breath. If it works for you, lengthen the exhale. Lengthening the exhale is just another tool and another signal to let the body and the mind know that it's time to calm down. Okay. Continuing with that steady breath. As you inhale, inhale the feeling of peace. As you exhale, exhale any feelings emotions, things that can just be let go of. And they don't need to be specific. Whatever it is, whatever you're hanging on to. As you exhale, just let that go. And as you are in this practice, if you feel extra, more full emotions, full feelings, physically, mentally, and all the things, open your mouth and exhale. Let them go. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. And then starting to make your way out of your version of melting heart or child's pose. Come to hands and knees, curl the toes underneath, and either stay here or you can come back to a downward dog and maybe walk the feet, loosen things up a little bit, see what feels best to you. Again, this practice is all about feeling into the body, bringing yourself back into that feeling of being grounded and in the body. When we are feeling anxious, we tend to feel outside of our bodies, and we're bringing it back to the inside, right? Bringing everything back to the center. All right, so then our next pose, we're going to come down to the mat and come into your butterfly pose. So for this one, if you know butterfly pose, go ahead and get right on into it. Feet come together, out in front, wherever works for you. Maybe a little bit more in, maybe out in front. When we are in our yin poses, remember we want to find our edge. So that's the place where it's a really great stretch, and you can feel it, a good stretch, but you can also stay with it. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top, inhale here. And as you exhale, come to the front with a straight spine, just like you would for a yang or an active style of butterfly pose. And when you find your edge, your place where works best for you, where it feels best for you, let your body just be in it. Let your muscles relax. Now, if this works for you, stay here. If you need, you can bring a pillow or a blanket or blocks, or maybe you need blocks or blankets underneath the knees if your knees need some support, if that feels best to you. Support yourself, you know, as with all the poses. Close your eyes, go inside, feel, right? And really honor where you are right now. Okay, so find your version of butterfly pose. Allow the muscles to relax. Close the eyes if that feels okay to you in this moment. Take a breath where you exhale through the mouth. And focusing on the feeling of the breath. Again, filling the back body with the inhale. Exhale, relax a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Stay with a steady but flowing breath, also staying as still as possible. If something hurts or gets to be too intense in the physical, you want to back out. Hurt, we don't want, okay? But if the mind starts to race or starts to go other places than right here in this moment, let that come, let it come, and then bring it back. Okay, maybe focus on the third eye, that space in between the eyebrows with the eyes as they're closed. Or maybe use a focus point. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I breathe in peace. I exhale any extra energy that is not needed in the body right now. One more breath. And start to roll that back up to the top. Take your time. Take your time. When you get to the top, let's bring the legs out in front and just be. Coming into our next pose, which is dragonfly. Dragonfly is another forward fold. Remember, forward folds, forward bends are very calming for the body. Okay, so in your dragonfly, you're going to bring your legs out to the side. Now, again, if it works for you to just stay right here, you can feel that on the inside of the legs, the knees, and it's okay to stay right here. Stay right here. Like for me today, I feel that a lot right here. So I would maybe even prop a blanket or a light pillow or maybe even a block underneath each knee. You can stay right here. You can come to the front a little bit or more. Pay attention to what's going on, and especially the hamstrings and the knees here. Okay, remember you want that edge, but you also want it to be sustainable for this amount of time. Find your pose. Maybe prop out in front like I am, okay? And gently go back to the breath. Allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the face to soften. Feel the gentle inhale and maybe a little bit longer exhale. So stay with the breath, inhaling peace, exhaling tension. Feel the body start to calm. And when thoughts come, let them come. Thank them for being here, and then let them go. Anxiety is an excess of energy in the body that if we can come to a place where we let it relax and let that go. This is a tool that you can use when you're feeling this way. You know, there's all kinds of tools for this, and this may be one that works for you. Even just the breath, the inhale, the feeling of the inhale, and the feeling of the exhale. So finding ways to, instead of fearing that feeling of anxiety, acknowledging it and maybe even telling those feelings, you know what, I love you, but I love you more when you're gone. Instead of fighting it, instead of pushing it away, thank it for being here. I know that's hard to say in the moment of it, but instead of pushing it away, thank you for being here, and thank you for leaving. I love you more when you're gone, right? Let's take one more breath here in your dragonfly pose. And then if you can come up, just come up this way. Otherwise, if you want to take your hands behind the knees, we're going to bring the knees and the legs back. Maybe move your props off to the side if you have them. And then again, let's take the legs out in front and just sitting tall here. Okay, feeling into the body. What sensations are coming up? What can you exhale and let go of in this moment? Watch it go. Let those feelings of whatever you're feeling, let them, visualize them as rocks, right? And on the exhale, let them turn into dust or smoke and just let them go. Let them leave the body. Okay, one more breath here. All right, then from here, we're going to turn to the side and come into, I'm going to give you two options. One, if you know Sleeping Swan, or we call it Pigeon Pose in beginning style of yoga, you can come into that. For that, I would come into a downward dog first. And if you're starting on the right side, take your right knee in, sitting on the heel and staying up here, relaxing the shoulders. Maybe the toes are curled underneath, or you're letting your foot be on the top of the foot, or coming to that right foot to the inside. What you want to remember is that your hips, if you're turning out a lot, you want to bring a blanket underneath it would be your right side here, okay? And then you can stay up at the top, rolling the shoulders back, or you can come down for Sleeping Swan, either with elbows on blocks, or coming all the way down to the mat, or anywhere in between, okay? If this works for you, stay here. If that doesn't work for you, for knees or whatever situation you have going on, you can bring your right knee in and your left leg out to the side for half butterfly pose. I'm going to stay in this one today because it feels better to me today. So you can take pillows. You can just stay right here and lean over to the side or lean to the front. I love the feeling of coming to the front for the inside of the leg. You can do that without a prop. You can do that with a prop. However, whatever works for you. Okay, so we're going to stay here for a bit. Always remembering that as you come into every pose, close the eyes, take a moment to just feel into the body, feel the breath. Let the exhales be longer than the inhales, if you can, in this moment. Always allowing the shoulders to relax, coming back and away from the ears. You can always prop your head as well in both of these poses if that feels good. Soften the face. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. And releasing this pose, starting to come back up to the top and just be. Take a pause. Remember, the pause is sometimes the most important physical part of the practice. Okay, so just feel the benefits. Feel the sensations that are going through the body right now. One more breath. All right, and then removing your prop or moving it off to the side. And maybe if you're in half butterfly, maybe coming to the other side right away here. And finding, remember both, and if you know sleeping swan or pigeon pose, you can start to get into that. I'll show that in a second. But remember both sides with both these poses, and all the time in yoga, they are not going to be the same, right? So my knee has a lot more tension behind it than my left, and my leg here. So I would not come as far on this side as, and actually I would put a, I think, oh yeah, that feels good. So putting a blanket underneath this knee today feels really, really fabulous. And then, you know, prop up how works for you. A couple of bed pillows, you know, blankets from home. You don't have to have fancy yoga things, but these are really fabulous. And then, so you can stay here. If pigeon pose or sleeping swan pose is for you today, you can bring that left knee in. My knee said thank you for this, I guess. That was a crack. You can bring that knee in front to sit on. You can bring that foot to the inside. You can prop up with a pillow or a blanket. And you can add props to the front or no props at all. So, just like with everything else, see where works for you. And then settle into it. I'm going to come back to my half butterfly pose because I love it so much. And then we are going to stay with the breath. Let the energy go. The energy that is not needed in the body right now. You know, this is different energy than like great energy for the day. This is that extra energy that is buzzing inside the body. We're just, you know, visualize it. Visualize that dust or that cloud of smoke leaving. Let that energy come kind of gather in the midsection of the body. Let it come towards the navel and towards the belly button. And then let it, on the exhale, just let it go. Let it go. Let your body and your mind come back to the original state of love. Because that's where you come from, right? Again, feeling into the fact that you are safe right now, you are loved, you are okay. You are taking time for this practice, for this tool that you have to calm down the body and the mind. Feel into the body. Breathing in love, and exhale, allowing the energy to return back to nature. Right? Let the extra energy, the extra things you're hanging on to, let it, love it, and then let it go. Butterflies are a great way to let them go. Relax the muscles as much as possible here for 2 more breaths. Starting to make your way back up if you're in half butterfly. Maybe coming back to a downward dog if you're in pigeon or sleeping swan. and maybe walking the feet out if you're coming out of that pose. And then let's all meet back on the mat. All right, and coming into happy baby pose. All right, so coming onto your back and bringing the knees out to the side and the hands to the feet or the shins. And just let your body be. As you breathe, let your lower back and your whole spine rest into the mat. Let your shoulders relax. Let your hips settle a little bit more with each breath. Again, feel the belly rise and fall as you breathe. Breathing in peace and exhaling anything that needs to go. Steady breath. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then from here, bringing the knees back in and taking the knees in towards the chest, letting the spine stay settled here. And bringing the legs up towards the ceiling, point and flex the feet. Maybe do some circles, feels really good. Maybe flex the feet and do heels together, toes together. Kind of getting into the hips, the joints a little bit more. And then shaking the legs out. Maybe shaking the arms out too. Shaking is a really great way to get rid of excess energy. And it just feels really good. Reach up towards the toes and then relax. And let's come into bridge pose for just a little bit. You're going to plant your feet, ground your feet, hips width apart, lifting up through the hips. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Rolling the spine back down. Coming into your favorite version of spine twist here. So either both knees coming in and over to the right, or maybe your right leg on the mat and your left knee in and over. Maybe you're propping your knee, arms out to the side, palms facing up. Make sure your fingers are apart but relaxed. Another one is maybe your left foot over your right knee and twisting over to the right, or twisting the legs together for twisted roots. So lots of options here. Again, always feeling into what feels best for you in this moment. Okay? Keeping the upper body facing up towards the ceiling, allowing the shoulders to relax and the jaw. And your face is looking up towards the ceiling or turning to the left. Feel the breath travel up the spine on the inhale and travel back down on the exhale. Few more breaths here. Bringing that back to the center. Bringing the knees in towards the chest. And coming to the other side. So twisting to the left in any version that feels good. You know, sometimes people's arms, you know, some people it feels really, really good to bring the arms out to the side, palms facing up. Some people that's too much, so maybe you want to prop this right arm in the side blanket, or you can take both maybe hands to your heart, or just, I don't know, close your eyes and just feel where your body wants to be here. It will tell you, we just have to pay attention. That's another really good practice, is paying attention. A big part of yoga is just tuning in, paying attention. Where am I in this moment? And when unpleasant feelings start to come in, you know, notice them and then go right to your tools that you have. We can be our own healers. We have the capability to do that. Right? So learning the things that help and then doing them right away when we have things come up. Feel that wave of breath. Inhale up the spine. Exhale slowly back down. Ground into your body here. One more breath. And then coming back to the center. And from here, coming into your final pose. So making any adjustments with the spine, allowing the legs to come down to the mat. Roll the shoulders underneath. You can stay here for your final pose or come to legs up the wall, which is also a very calming pose. So coming into your final pose and just taking another breath where you exhale through the mouth. Close the eyes if that's comfortable for you right now. Palms facing up. If it feels better, palms facing down, or maybe even take a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. Sending peace and love to yourself. Allow the space that you've created in the body to be filled with love and light, warmth, calm energy. Focusing on the heart here and envision sunshine in the heart center. And with every breath, it grows, the feeling of warmth grows through the body. Gentle breath. And if this feels really good here in this moment, stay for as long as feels great to you. Otherwise, bringing some movement into the fingers and the toes and the wrists and ankles. And turning everything to the right to come up to sitting. Hands to the knees, palms facing up for a breath. Inhale, hold at the top. Open the mouth and exhale. Whether you're lying down or sitting, maybe take the hands together in front of the heart. Gratitude for this practice. Gratitude for you are amazing. And we're perfectly and wonderfully made. If you're lying down, stay where you're at. Relax. Breathe. If you're closing off your practice, take the thumbs in prayer position. Take the thumbs to the third eye, between the eyes. Bowing to the front a little bit here. Taking an inhale and exhale. Coming back to the top, hands together in front of the heart in prayer position. I'm so grateful for each of you. I'm grateful that you took this time for you today. Remember, you can come back to this practice